Hello everyone, this is Terry from Genki Gaming TV. We're back with Yokai Watch 2019 episode 29 to review, and I want to start off by saying this episode was at the upper end of being really good. By far this is one of the better episodes we have had, and I'm not going to say this is them progressing in the right direction. I'm going to say this: they might be changing up how things are going leading into next week's episode. Maybe, I'm not going to say a more serious note or anything like that, but the opening segment was, what, 9 minutes? 10 minutes long? Which is great. We need good opening segments like that. The segment opens up with Keita-kun, or Nate, smelling something a little weird and then sneezing, then Jibanyan does it, and then Whisper sneezes all over the place, and Whisper continues sneezing, and Nate or Keita-kun's like, it must be a yokai that's causing it, and yes it was little Smogling, or in Japanese, I believe it's Ko-in-la. Yeah, Ko-in-la. And Ko-in, that could be in park, depending upon the kanji used, but in this sense it means child. Ko, like Kodomo Ko. But yeah. And our little Smogling friend is a little sad and would like to help one of its friends, but Keita-kun and the rest of the gang don't quite understand what it means, so we go to a yakiniku place, or a meat stick place, and then we go to a place that's most likely kind of stylized after a ramen shop. And Whisper sneezes at both places, causing issues for Nate and Jibanyan. Up to the point where Jibanyan gets smacked on top of the head with a little bowl. And before we go a little bit further into this review, I want to say what they did here with this opening segment was so witty, so smart, and fits this little yokai to the T. Trivia time from the wiki. There is a Smogling in the yokai world seen staring at a candle and considering it like their mother, claiming to be born from the smoke of the flame. We have a similar situation here, but with Hanakochan, which I'm using Chan because she is kawaii, and for kawaii things, like all things that are cute and kind of younger than you that you do not work with, like children, you can use Chan, but when they're at a certain age you have to use San. But I'm kind of disregarding that because they called her Madoka-chan, so that's what I'm going with as well. Personally, I use polite Japanese, so it'd probably be San, just like Keita is Keita-kun. But we're moving on. I love how witty that they were with this and how well they played into Smogling or Ko-in-la's lore, like the backstory behind it. I think this is the first time they've really done this well with this new series. Like Black Diamond stuff has been done well. A few other yokai origins had been done pretty well in the opening segment, but not quite as smoothly transitioned as this one. But basically, Madoka is really into aroma. Like, here in the West, we would call it like a sensi burner or aroma burner, where you like burn oils or essence or even like candle wax. And our little Smogling here was basically born from it to a certain degree. But our little smogling doesn't know how to go back to her mother, because her mother seems to be oppressed by her friends. She even dyed her hair to fit in. She wanted to be a girl that fit in at her school, so she changed who she was in order to do that. So that is both a good and bad thing when we get down to it, because you always want to try to fit in, but it's impossible to fit in with everyone. Like, there's no way to be like on everyone's side or be basically Switzerland to a certain degree. So to move on from this point, Hanako-san or Hanakochan was summoned, our resident Josekose, or high school student. I believe Madoka called her Hanapi or Hanape, and that when Hanako-san gave her like this essence, it was actually some of Smogling's essence within it, and Madoka-chan was happy about that, but Tattletale had to be used to get to the truth, which brought in Hanako-san for the tag team approach of fixing our new friend's life a little bit. I feel like this is as well polished as the stuff with like the Jibanyan backstory in both the series and in Shadowside. I feel like this is equally as polished, where we get a true conclusion, because when Madoka sees her friends after having a cute moment with Smogling, even though she doesn't entirely recognize that Smogling is there, but you kind of get a sense that she does a little bit, that she senses something in a positive way. But we're moving on. She meets up with her friends. They're shocked that her hair is black, which she was originally had black hair, but she dyed it that brownish tone. But they said Madoka is Madoka, and they're just happy to have their friend. And I thought that that line was so well done by the voice actress that I actually clapped while watching it. I was really happy with how they ended this opening segment, that it makes up for the fact that this whole thing with the Sakura area in segment 2 was just kind of Whisper becomes a hero and then Whisper becomes a villain. Norihon and Enma had like a little tizzy. I won't even call it a fight. They kind of went their separate ways. Enma got mad. They kind of nuked the city. And all of our warring factions, like, no battle happened. Whisper is the only one that got hurt. Like, this entire mini-series within this Yokai Watch 2019 felt so unnecessary. It was a tool to introduce us to more yokai without actually bringing them in and or doing their stories to a fuller extent, because some of them have already been covered extensively. But at the same time, I won't say there was no substance from this, because you did get a sense of who each yokai really was to a degree, like the main ones. But they were hyping up Coma-san and Komajiro during the segment so hard, and then they basically didn't really do much of anything. And there was no true fight. It was just Whisper getting his butt kicked by every single thing. I mean, Whisper is lucky he is dead already, or else all of these beatings would have made him dead multiple times. But moving on, we do get a Coma-chan, or Coma-san and Komajiro for Coma, which is actually kind of funny. like the rolling down the stairs bit and rolling into Komajiro, it wasn't funny enough to laugh, but it was amusing enough that you're like, oh yeah, Koma-san would so totally do that. And then there was the second part of this 4-com was Komajiro rolling all the way down the stairs, which is not fun. I feel like this kind of encourages kids to roll down steps. So if we hear about reports of concussions or stair-related injuries in Japan, it's all thanks to Koma-san and Komajiro. But we'll transition to the Komami segment, and I have to say, I'm starting to feel really bad for Koma-san and Komajiro. I mean, you guys know I don't really like Koma-san and Komajiro anymore because they're not a cool co-main and a cool frog like they were in Shadow Side. But I don't hate them. I just kind of, they're just there. You kind of dislike the fact that they take up so much time in the episodes, but this episode was no problem because they took up, what, 4 minutes, 5 minutes? Not much time at all. The search for Komami continued. The opening segment to this is as cute as Frog Raincoat Jibanyan. Them sliding down the slide together was really cute. I mean, I know I am not the only one that thinks that. I can't be. It was just like a cute little thing, and then Hanakochan called to ruin their fun. She's like, your sister is in danger! Go save her! Komami is completely okay, guys. We are probably never gonna see her until, like, episode, like, 40 plus. Like, I'm calling it now. Episode 44 or 45, we may see Komami. Chances are she'll be leaked in Koro before we actually see her. You guys know that. I feel like this is just a marketing scheme to show off different places within Japan. But I feel like at the same time, I'm feeling sad for Koma-san and Komajiro, because they're just trying to relax, do Coma things. They don't always want to be in constant vacation mode. Like, they were having a perfectly nice day at the park and Hanakochan ruined it. And up until, like, this series, we didn't even know they had a mom, really. Like, we knew that they had parents, probably. But we didn't know that they actually were going to use Hanakochan to any sort of true degree. Like this isn't even truly using her to her utmost ability. I will say one thing, Ash's mom in Pokemon, Delilah, yeah, that's her name, she has more substantial airtime than Hanakochan does. And when I say airtime, I mean she's done more than what Hanakochan has done. Calling your kids to worry them about their Imoto, about their little sister, that they've not seen, therefore I don't even think that they would recognize her to a certain degree if she looked different from them or their mom. And this is not a rant or venting, this is just Coma confusion. Because it's just really weird that we wouldn't at least get like a stealth drop of who Komami really is. And also, this episode didn't have Black Diamond Yan, so I'm kind of sad. Ash, do not upload pictures while I am trying to commentate this video. But it's a nice segue for me to end this. All in all, the episode was a B+ or A-. It wasn't... We didn't get a substantial build-up of any relationships or character development. We did get a little bit of Keita character development with his willingness to help a yokai. We still know that Whisper is useless, other than being a Pokédex or a Yokai Dex. We know Jibanyan is great, because who doesn't love Jibanyan? And we know that Whisper is a villain and a hero at the same time. If you guys like the comment, if you guys like this content, please drop a like. And as always, you guys are wonderful. Hopefully your week will be full of positivity and happiness and blessings. Bye for now.